This is a chart showing income tax rates compared to the quality of life across the world. As you can see, the relationship is pretty clear. The higher the taxes, the better the living standards. The US, France, Sweden all fall above the 35% mark, and they're often ranked among the world's most developed nations. But then, there's this country, the UAE, sitting right here with 0% income tax and yet one of the highest living standards on Earth. A city with free healthcare, high-quality education, and futuristic infrastructure. So how can that even work? Before we understand Dubai's secret, let's look at what we've always been told about taxes. In most developed nations, taxes are the bloodline of the economy. They fund healthcare, education, infrastructure, military defense, everything that keeps a modern state alive. And for decades, economists have told us that the higher the taxes, the better the quality of life. But Dubai broke that rule. So, have we been scammed all along, paying insane amounts to the system when there's clearly a way for nations to thrive without taking a single dollar from their citizens? Well, to answer the question, we need to understand Dubai's system first, and how the country actually makes money. And trust me, it's not magic oil money like most people think. In fact, oil represents less than 1% of Dubai's GDP today, and about 25% of the UAE's national GDP. So if not oil, then what? Dubai's economy is built like a business, not a bureaucracy. Instead of depending on citizens' taxes, it relies on a few powerful revenue engines, starting with tourism. Each year, more than 17 million people visit Dubai. They stay in hotels, eat in restaurants, shop in luxury malls, and pay service charges, tourism fees, and VAT. A small 5%, but spread across millions of transactions, it adds up fast. This alone brings billions into government accounts. Then comes real estate, one of Dubai's strongest economic pillars. Foreign investors pour billions into skyscrapers, islands, and luxury apartments. Every sale, every registration, every permit, all come with government fees. And because Dubai positions itself as a global safe haven for investment, money flows in from every continent. It's like a giant magnet for the wealthy. Next, state-owned enterprises. And this is where things get really smart. Unlike most governments that privatize everything, Dubai keeps ownership in key sectors. Airports, airlines like Emirates, telecom companies, ports, and free zones. Each of these generates consistent profit. Dubai basically owns its own economy. So instead of collecting taxes from citizens, it earns revenue directly, just like a corporation. And that's not even the full picture. The visa system is another quiet moneymaker. Every foreigner working in the UAE, and they make up about 85% of the population, pays visa fees, renewals, health insurance, and housing permits. Multiply that by millions of expats, and you get another multi-billion-dollar stream. So, does Dubai have no taxes at all? Not exactly. There's a corporate tax of 9% introduced in 2023, but it mostly applies to large companies, not individuals. There's also a 5% VAT, value-added tax, applied to most goods and services. But compared to the global average, that's microscopic. At this point, it almost feels like a scam. Now you might ask, if this model works so well, why don't other countries do the same? First, the UAE's population is small, around 9.5 million people. But here's the twist. Only about 1 million, roughly 10%, are actual Emirati citizens. The remaining 8.5 million are foreign workers and expats, who make up nearly 90% of the country's population. Most of them are on temporary contracts. They pay fees and work permits, but don't receive pensions or welfare. To put that into perspective, compare it to a country like France, where over 80% of the population are citizens entitled to healthcare, education, and retirement support. That contrast alone reduces the UAE government's financial responsibility by an enormous margin. Second, the country is structured like a corporation, not a democracy. Decisions are made quickly, projects are executed efficiently, and there's no complex political debate slowing things down. In contrast, in most Western democracies, even the smallest policy can take months, sometimes years, of discussions, votes, and public scrutiny. And that's exactly why this model is nearly impossible to apply elsewhere. Because a no-tax state requires a fast, centralized management system that operates like a corporation, not a slow-moving bureaucracy. Without tax reserves to absorb mistakes, every misstep has to be fixed immediately. There's no financial cushion for delays or inefficiency. And third, the UAE has mastered something most countries completely overlook: strategic branding. Think about it. Visit Dubai. Invest in Dubai. Work in Dubai. The city is its own global advertisement. Every new skyscraper, airport, and mega project isn't just infrastructure. It's marketing. While most nations build for utility, Dubai builds for attention. And that attention keeps attracting more business, more tourists, and more investment. So no, Dubai doesn't thrive without taxes because it found a loophole in economics. It thrives because it turned itself into a brand that sells access to the world instead of taking from its people. And the truth is, we haven't exactly been scammed. High-tax countries and Dubai play two completely different games. In large democracies with tens or hundreds of millions of citizens, taxes are the only realistic way to fund universal healthcare, pensions, and welfare. Dubai, on the other hand, avoids that burden by having a tiny local population and millions of temporary foreign workers who don't get those benefits. So it's not that the global system is lying, it's just built for a completely different kind of society. But here's the catch. Dubai's system isn't perfect, and it might not last forever. Its economy still depends heavily on global tourism, real estate speculation, and foreign labor. If those slow down, the system could face serious pressure. That's why the UAE is now investing in AI, renewable energy, finance, and logistics to diversify before the global winds change. So in the end, Dubai didn't cheat the system. It simply built a different one, a model that trades taxes for attention and citizens for opportunity. And as the skyline keeps rising, one question remains: how long can it stay tax-free?